Down but not out training. I think me sitting on this couch here is the perfect place to do this talk because this is where a lot of people spend their time when they are hurt. They'll lay around on the couch, they'll watch movies and do things like that, and really kind of let themselves go. And when you let yourself go mentally and physically, man, it just doesn't work out, right? You start not eating the right foods, you start really getting into some poor habits, and that just makes it that much more difficult for when it is time for you to get back. So I highly recommend learning a training routine that will help you keep your mind sharp, keep your body in the best shape possible without actually causing any injury. And that's what we're going to talk about now. I think I'm a pretty good authority on this particular subject. The first 2 years that I did ninja competitions and training and everything, I didn't have a single injury. I was able to really do pretty much anything I wanted, and I felt great. Then I had a few accidents because I started pushing my limits, right? The better I got, the more daring things I tried. And I believe my first injury was breaking my ribs on the salmon ladder because I was doing flips and muscle ups over the bar while, doing like, I forget what it's called, a cast and a couple other things. But anyway, broke my ribs on the bar. That did not feel well. 5 weeks later, though, I was in a competition. And about 8 weeks, I was in another competition, and I was able to go almost full speed. So, during that time, I took a couple of days off, and that was it. What did I do in my first week? I did lower body training only, body weight, super slow motion, because I couldn't even sleep in bed for the first couple of days after the rib injury. However, over time, I was able to do a little bit more with very light weights and really slowly rehab my body and get myself back into training shape, so I really didn't take too much time off and therefore didn't lose too much. I've had tons of other injuries. One of the most recent ones is 2 years ongoing now. My elbow. I've got a medial epicondylitis. Prior to that, I had a separation of my AC joint from a motorcycle crash. I've had 6 other dislocations in that shoulder, and I've had plenty of other injuries over the years. But this subject is not to talk about the down by out process of injuries with me, but how it can apply to you, and basically what you can do when you're hurt. So for example, if you have a shoulder injury, there's no reason you can't train your core. There's no reason you can't work on your balance. There's no reason you can't do some sort of lower body training. And that is going to still help you keep those skills sharp until your shoulder is capable. On the other hand, if you have, my most recent injury, torn ACL. I was able to do plenty of upper body training and then slowly start working on rehabbing my leg. And within 5 weeks, I was snowboarding. And within 8 weeks, I was snowboarding on double black diamonds in the woods with a brace. I did not get surgery on my knee. It's now been almost a year. I'm about 10 months out from my knee injury, and I am able to run at about 95% of full speed. I'm able to run the 14-foot warp wall, no problem at all. I can do repeat sprints standing at the base of it. I'm afraid to try the 18 again. I was able to get that prior to the injury. But 18-foot wall, I feel it requires a 100% effort, and I'm not sure if I'm quite ready for that. When I do try it, and my goal is to try it before the end of this year, I will wear a brace just to be safe. But I've really been working on my training and my strength and my speed and my power, and I'm doing box jumps at about 40 inches now, which is, it's not quite where I was, but it feels good to do that, and I'm gradually notching it up over time, right? So that's the thing. A lot of people try to get back into exactly what they were doing immediately, and they get frustrated if they're not there, and you have to accept the little victories, little tiny steps forward, right? Making some progress, and then also realizing when you need to pause and pull back so that you don't end up overtraining yourself or overstimulating a muscle or overstressing a joint and causing further inflammation, which makes you take several steps backwards, all right? So taking it slow and steady, being smart, is the way to go with down but not out training, so that you can really stay in the game and not have to start from scratch. Okay, it's just something that it's a concept that a lot of people get wrong and end up hurting themselves, or they don't do anything and they lose everything and they have to start over. So I would call myself an expert in down but not out training, and I'd love to help anyone that has any questions on anything. So feel free to share, comment on the post here, and I'll get back to you. And if you need some further assistance, we can set up a time to actually chat on the phone or anything like that.